In sciences, before we go out for practicals, we study the theoretical aspect of whatever it is we want to go out there and practicalize. In this context, we want to resolve the issue of corruption. I think it is just wise that we first of all discuss the theoretical aspect of what it is that we want to change from the behavior of the political leader as well as that of the follower, since both of them are equally corrupt. This is what made me to say that it is very important that we study to understand the root causes of corruption before we can stand any chance of curtailing it or even being effective at achieving this goal. Now, I said that to understand the root causes of corruption, it is important that we study laws from before man was even before the existence of man. We study systems, natural systems, and laws that it is not we that made. We'll now see how these laws behave, the essence why these laws are made, and the need for these laws and the purpose they are meant to achieve, as well as such systems. Now, I said after you know all of that, you will now come back and study the man-made laws, the ones that we made for our own coexistence in order to bring harmony between our daily lives as we live and interact together with other human beings. So if you know the both now, if you know the two, I said we compare our own made laws and systems to the natural laws, because judging by level of efficiency and effectiveness in terms of achieving results and the need why laws are made, natural laws do a better job than the man-made laws and systems. So by the time you compare between the two, you now know where there is a shortcoming. You will note these things down. Then I also say it is important that since it is man that interacts with these systems and these laws, we will also study the behavior of man. We will know what man is made of, what man can do, his capacity, his shortcomings, his weaknesses, and his strength. And if you know all of this, it is still important that we know that the basic or the ultimate motivation, the two factors that drive the human character as he relates with laws under these systems as we design them by ourselves, is fear and gain, just like Thomas Hobbes pointed out clearly in the social contract theory. All right. So if you know how man behaves, you should be able to understand under what condition can man behave in a certain manner or aspect. And mostly, we should not ignore the fact that if you want man to behave in a generally acceptable manner, he has to be under the guidance, directions, and control of laws. This is why you see that there is a system of reward, which is salaries, interest, and there is another system which is punishment. This is to tell you that there are two basic factors that will drive the character of the individual in a system or under a socio-political system, or however you want to call it. This is to tell you that if it is not for gain, or if it is not because the political leader is in love with you or loves the people that he wants to do good for them, which would have been a very perfect and easy condition that we all want. If it is not for this, if this is not attainable, there is another factor that comes in, which is punishment. And this one brings in fear. Okay? So this is to say that if the politician is not afraid of you in any way, he will not do that which you want him to do. Don't misunderstand me. If he loved you, had empathy or mercy on you, he would do as you want him to do. But in this case, it is clear that they don't love us. So this one is shaky. But the one that is more sure is by the time you introduce the concept of fear into this picture, you will see that you can now teach or detect the activity or behavior of the political leader to benefit the interest of the general public. Now, it's not like I'm talking about fear as if it's one concept I'm bringing out of the blue. The Constitution tries to bring in fear. If it wasn't for this fact, there wouldn't be any stipulated punishment in the Constitution. We recognize these things, or our founding fathers, the ones that laid the foundation of society or democracy as we know it, they understood these things and they reacted to these things while they were crafting our society. Now, coming to us, I don't think that we give enough reverence to these things. We do not acknowledge them. We just think they were just there. No, they were not there by mistake. They were there by purpose. And a constitution also tries to separate powers. This is to tell you that this is the constitution trying to align or craft a system that will behave similarly with natural systems, where duties, delegations, jobs, functions, and responsibilities are delegated and given to different subsystems or components or arms under a democratic system. And if you also understand that in social systems, in natural systems, when a responsibility is given, like I said in the other video, commensurate power or adequate authority to perform such function is also accorded. This is why you see the constitution trying to create other ministries, the justice system, the legislature, the executive, the INEC, and some of them, they say that there shall be an independent national electoral commission. This is to let you know that even the constitution or our forefathers recognize that some of these arms are going to have to be independent at some point. And don't get me wrong, I am not saying absolute independent. This is to say that there is a time they will be afraid of punishment or sanction, but this must be that they are only afraid of the law. It can never be that this independent body is now trying to serve the interest of a particular group of people who are not by the law supposed to let their interest to influence the INEC. So understand something with fear. There is a point that an individual is supposed to be afraid, but in a political system, he is only supposed to be afraid of the law. Then there is a point where the individual or the official who is in a public office is supposed to not be afraid of anybody except the law. Not even the organ, because if the organ now gives a command that contradicts the law or the interest of the general public, the officer, be he a subordinate or a superior or a co-equal to other arms or the other person, he will have the guts to say no without being afraid of political victimization, which is not a constitutional authorized behavior. Okay, so I am saying that by the time you understand natural systems, you understand the individual, you understand the laws, and you understand that laws can now be put in place as though they were building blocks, or building blocks to a system or to a house that will now direct the behavior of individuals. Like we've built a corridor. If you're going in, you have to be going as the law demands you or allows you to move. You cannot go outside of the law because you are afraid of punishment. But to make this easy for us to understand, you will notice that our political leaders, if they loved us, they would do what we wanted. Or if they were afraid of us, they will also do what we wanted. There are two situations here. Now that it is clear that they don't love us, I am saying instead of going out to the street trying to change the government or change the political leader, was ignorantly saying that these people, it is just to change them. That is not the problem. If you change other people and bring them into creating a new government, would it not be that the factor of fear will still be absent in our political setting? If these people get to power, they begin to enjoy power, and they discover there are no effective system of check and balances as a result of an improper separation of power, they will over time become corrupt, begin to abuse power, since there is nothing that can be done to them. Understand? So this analysis, this discussion, I am taking it to another level where scholars, international organizations, and activists, they have not had these conversations. But I am telling you that this conversation is at the root causes of corruption. And do not begin to think that if this, you now begin to trace what is allowing corruption to happen, you point out that it is because the individual is corrupt, then you stop at that. No, that is one of them. The other reason why someone can be corrupt is when they are not afraid of punishment and when they don't love you or have your interests at heart. So if you want to resolve these issues, you don't tackle one and go and rest. You have to tackle one after the other. It's a system. Life is a process. You can't jump it. My people used to say that activity, amaga, like shortcut, it will take you to the process. That if you wanted to drink something, if you cut it, slice it, you can't be able to drink it until you grind it. It means what needs to be done must be done. Nature does not care about how you feel about these things. If you don't know it, it don't mean that things will work out well for you. If you like, try 99 times wrong process with a wrong process. 99 times you will get a failed result. Nature is not going to have pity on you that, oh, he has tried enough, let's just let this work out for him. No, until you get it right. And if you know what must be done, you only need to try once and you will get it right. So I am saying even as they jump on for body, say, to fight corruption, you need to know exactly what is allowing corruption to happen so that you can now block those loopholes or those shortcomings on a plain level. It means that if a component or an arm in the government is underperforming, just ask why. When you get the answer, ask why again. When you get the answer, ask why again. You will now discover that all the changes that we need or must do or must make are tied to the constitution. So I am saying that if you want to build a house, but you don't want to carry a plan to the site, it depends on the house that you want to build. You should know that that house that you are building is just going to stand for a little time before it collapses. And the matter of beauty or what it can serve you is also questionable. The house feel no fine. But if you carry a plan, you can now erect a perfect structure. So in the case of Nigeria and trying to fight corruption, we already have a house, we already have a society, we already have a government, but this government is underperforming. Now we want to restructure the government or the system in a way that it will begin to perform properly. This is to tell you that you must carry a constitution, look into it, and know exactly where you must change in order that the result is also affected, or that result will reflect a constitutional change. This is me telling you that instead of looking at the character of the political leader, which research has proven that it is bad, corrupt, 9 times out of 1, 9 times out of 10 corrupt, it means that it's already an established fact. And the thing that I am saying is, the character is bad. Forget about using your mouth for protesting, crying, and insulting, and damaging their interest or image, and painting them black that they are corrupt, to now all of a sudden have mercy, pity, and love and compassion to do that which is your interest. In this context, if one was supposed to do your interest, either because he loves you or because he's afraid of you, which one will you choose? I'm not talking morals, I'm not talking love relationship here, I'm talking system. This is why I was telling you about the constitution bringing in fear to get individuals to do what is right. The constitution does not emphasize on love, 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 love. You understand? It is better that you now use this. You bring up, make the person to be afraid of you. Just like person one can't thief from you, one can't rob you. When he come, he begin to talk to you, you need to hear. By the time you remove one kalashin, all of a sudden you get your senses and you begin to do that which he wants to do. How am I supposed to emphasize this? That within our government, there is no fear, and there is no an effective system of check and balance, which has made it possible for excessive control. You get? And this control is not that it is based on the law. These are individuals who have, because of a porous nature of our system, which is being crafted porously by our constitution and concentrated too much power at the top, it now becomes a matter of people just try to get to the office or at the top of the hem of the affair. Then you can control the rest of the resources of the country and the people along with it. I've told you before that because man is selfish, is greedy, is corrupt, and is in love with control and achieving his interest. The ogre at the top is pursuing his interest. The subordinate at the bottom is also protecting his interest. So it's either they use bribe to corrupt or manipulate the younger one, the subordinate, or political victimization, which is fear. Either way, it is happening. But I'm saying that if you share power properly, you will see a situation that even the subordinate, if he does not want to collect bribe, he will not collect that bribe and nothing will happen to him. But what is obtainable right now is if Oga gives you bribe and you don't collect it, Oga will victimize you politically. They will remove you from the office one way or the other. And you cannot cry to the judiciary because they are equally corrupt and answering to the Ogas at the top. So now, if you look at natural system and you see that everybody collect your own regular power, your own adequate power, things will begin to work effectively as they work in natural systems. Okay? So don't tell me that because we are suffering because the politician does not love us. Understand also that we are suffering and our interest is not being met or protected because they are not afraid of us. This is another aspect where the constitution tries to bring in fear into the heart of the individual who is powerful and a political leader. You see that electoral process. This is the power that is given to the people to use it and control the behavior of the elected or the leader who is in office. Because when the leader knows that these 4 years where they give me, if I don't do well and protect the interests of the people, after 4 years, they will vote me out of office. Now, since when the individual is afraid of this situation, after I go follow siren, when, they do 100%, ego is on the move. After 4 years, they sack and come out. We want things that are good. The individual wants to stay in that office. whether he's protecting the interests of the people or he's not protecting the interests of the people. He wants to stay in the office. Voting him out of office is not what he desires. He doesn't want it. So he will be afraid to do anyhow. He will decide what they do good for him people. But in our current democratic situation, that's power. Where would they go vote? They have taken it away from us. And it is a constitutional error that has made us vulnerable to a point that our votes now don't count. And I've pointed out clearly that it is because of the indirect party primary process. That one is too vulnerable for the political leader to manipulate it. So it becomes that the political leader is in office and he does not care if after 4 years you vote him in or out. He knows that whether you vote or you don't vote, they will still win. You understand? I have seen situations where the results at the polls were clear that someone else won, and INEC, because of influence from the top, announced another candidate who did not win as the winner of the election. When people wanted to complain, they say, no, go to court. They know that they have an election tribunal that is being appointed by the president or whatnot powers to go and handle the case, and the persons that are going there are serving the interest of the organ who favored them to send them for election tribunal, so that when they go there, they collect bribe and manipulate the verdict. Sometimes after 180 days, the case is being taken out of the court. It is a deep conversation. Sometimes I don't even know where to start, but you should understand this, that let's carry our own political system and compare it to natural systems. They know what and what to change so that our system will also become as effective as the natural system. And in trying to change something, please do not focus or waste your time in trying to change the character of man. That one, like that idea. Research, mental health experts say individuals are genetically predispositioned to behave the way they behave, which is selfish. You understand? So leave that matter. Come and use the constitution here to introduce some level of fear in their mind, so that if they no use love or their personal capacity of developing compassion and love to protect the interests of the people, they will be afraid of being voted out of the office. They will be afraid of facing punishment or being locked up, or, like I said, capital punishment for people that steal our money. People in the education say that punishment has to be painful. If punishment is not painful, why do you even want to punish? In natural systems, the laws that build those systems, there are no backup clause that bring in that say that if you don't do this, this is the punishment. This is because, like I said in another video, those components that make up the subsystems in natural systems, they don't have free will, or they are not bothered with conflicting interest. If you program a robot to do this, if a tire is supposed to turn after you engage gear, the tire will 1,000 times turn when you engage gear, except there is a physical problem. It's not about thought. The tire cannot wake up and say, I don't roll too much today, I want rest. My grandmother is in the hospital, or I want to attend a wedding. No. But in a socio-political system in our society, the system that we build, we are the component. And we are confronted with conflicting interests. So the fact that natural system needs consistency, it now became necessary that a means will be crafted in order to always help we that are so vulnerable of inconsistency to be consistent. It's either because you love to be consistent or you are afraid to be inconsistent. It's either you obey the law 100% because you love it, or you are afraid of the punishment of disobeying the law, so you obey it 100%, so that the actual essence and the goal, the overall goal of the system will be achieved based on your consistent input in your own small office. So there are a lot of things that we need to know. Systems need consistency. Human beings are incapable of being consistent, so they look for a way to motivate them. Either they use fear and motivate you to do what is right, or they pay you money to do what is right. Pay attention to me. I will let you know all that you need to understand about the root causes of corruption, so that when we begin to have conversations on how to resolve the issue with corruption, we will not just be looking at treating the symptoms. We will be asking questions and demanding for specific changes to be made in the constitution, such that the result or the changes in the constitution will reflect in the behavior of the political leader. It is just like you build a wall to block water from disturbing what you're doing, and all of a sudden you now see water flowing towards the dry floor that you wanted to use, so that you be doing your dancing on top and be enjoying yourself. So we Nigerians now, we don't go carry mop. We dey busy, they mop the water. We dey busy, they mop the water. You get? But theory, research, data, and nature, and even God demands that You trace the root of that. Where is it coming from? Go back to the root. Now, when you get to that wall that you built initially to stop the water from reaching you, you look at where the wall don't puncture. Then you look for what to cover that place. Which one be you just dig here, the mop water? It is increasing. You are mopping and crying. You are mopping and crying, jumping and what is wrong? Who is not thinking properly in this place? Now they say, how did we get here? It is ignorance that got us to this place. All of you that are saying, how did we get here? What is the big deal? Why are you so concerned about making the individual to repent? The church don't tell you say it's easy for them to make good Christians. You people question integrity when they want to vote. Until when they get into office, you are still questioning integrity. The integrity of good people that will make the system work smoothly, naturally, you vote them in at the electoral process. When they get into office, integrity don't dey for backdoor. If the system was supposed to be run only on integrity, there won't be need for laws. You get? So by the time you don't see integrity, you have to see fear. If the system is crafted in a way that punishment is not happening, there's so much and rampant impunity, look into what is causing corruption, what is allowing impunity, and just question the why, the what, the root causes. Stop discussing how. Stop this. I see very intellectual people, very notable and reputable Nigerians out on TV or on camera questioning the character of the individual and trying to get the public to see that if you were me, I will not do this. Are you kidding me? We don't want to trust you. Me, there's no need to trust. For you to trust, I say let's ensure. By the time you see that the law is waiting for you at the end of the line, whether you want to do it in good or not, you do it. Whether you love the people or not, you do it. This is the point I'm trying to make. Okay? But we'll keep going on this matter until you people listen. But as long as you are yet to get sense, to collect sense, we will suffer the go. Alright? We will suffer the go. Is it not clear that Tinubu does not have our interest at heart? Or if he does, or if he did, instead of removing fuel subsidy, why don't you fight the corruption or the fuel subsidy scam? Ask why. When you ask why, you will get the answer. It's because the cartels, oh my God, oh my God. Instead of stressing with all that deep talk, listen to me. We will strategize, restructure the constitution in a way that excessive power will go come out. Then we can give adequate autonomy to every office or arm of government that is supposed to have it. There are ways to do this. Has been done before. It is not a new thing. It's just that you refuse to see how it was done. And me, I am here to remind you that Oga, stop beer parlor talk, stop complaining, stop wasting your time complaining about the character of the individual. Let's do what was done. Let's do it properly. Let's do it better to improve the result. If I'm saying restructure the constitution and you're saying there is no need, it's just like that word that is leaking what I'm saying. Let's go and patch it. The constitution is there to suppress the negative and selfish interests of the individual down so that the good can come out. So if at the end of the day, the constitution is there, but the interest of the individual is growing higher, his greed is increasing, he's becoming more corrupt, which was the duty of the constitution to curtail. It means that, Oga, leave the behavior. This one was already a threat. We knew it right from time. Good. Go back to the constitution, restructure them in a way, give them, build the wall, make it strong, make it strong. Okay, let's take this analogy. Assuming someone was abusing power. Shana, because he get plenty of the power, now they abuse him. All right, instead of begging him not to abuse the power, if he had 3 guns, he gets one AK-47, he gets one pistol, then he gets one bazooka, then he's feeling top of the world that he cannot listen to anybody. And this power was given to this person under a political system by the constitution. So why don't you go back to the constitution? Or why don't we demand that take one of the bazooka out, take one of the pistol, give other people, give the judiciary. Judiciary now wants what pistol they carry. The politician carry bazooka, the legislature carry bazooka. Then the judiciary can tell them yes, yes, like I said in the other video. If you collect person, we get power. If you collect in strength and in means, when they take, if you reduce the power, the person will still they do for you. No, it don't go behave like that again. These are natural situations. These are real life and day-to-day analogies that I'm using so that you understand exactly what you need to understand. First, they abuse power. You the beggar make you they abuse power. Oh yeah, reduce that power. What thing you go get to go abuse? You get okay. The executive, they too do. Oh yeah, tell and say, maybe you been get power to play one role in appointing the chief justice, and you get another power to play a role in impeaching the Chief Justice or justices of the Supreme Court. Okay, now you can only appoint, but they want to go and impeach them. No go there again. Moko allow senators, they do that one. Sure, you don't reduce power. So now you come back to the electoral process in order to get senators that are adequately or commensurately independent to be able to say no even to their party leaders when they are going anti-people policy. Those senators say no, no be like this. We supposed to come sit down here, they do. Me, personally, they voted me to come and do this. But by the time you allow indirect party primaries is there, individuals now are afraid to talk because now push them from delegates, party godfather, make sure say they win. They get into office and even the governor is having a godfather. Are you kidding me? Then you come and be making noise online and saying they should. Should what? The individual should stop protecting his interest. He should cease to be a political animal, according to Aristotle. He should stop being selfish and desperately corrupt, as the Bible says it. And he doesn't love you and not afraid of you, but he should do your biddings, protect your interest. Until we wake up. Until we wake up. You now make white people looking like they are genetically predispositioned or designed to not be selfish. Now lie. For dear, you know if you control past the one way the law allows you to control. You know, see Biden go enter Supreme Court, they tell them, say, make sure that Trump does not contest in this forthcoming election. You see all that he's doing when they go to the Supreme Court, they do what they think is right and is in the eyes of the people, interest of the people. You understand? So sit down there, they just be doing beer parlor talk. Don't you know that all this while we've been trying to fight corruption? If it wasn't for the fact that it is the wrong approach that we are using, we'll never resolve corruption matter. You people are talking about change government through protest. Without protest, are we not changing government? Those elections where they do not be different people they put inside power. Are you seeing any different result? Will it not occur to you now that it is because we'll be using the wrong approach that we'll not be able to resolve the issue of corruption like forever? Listen to me, pay attention, pay attention. Me, I'll put all of this here. And I'm not trying to convince everybody. You get some people where they will not understand sense. No, some ego too much. Even when they get your point, what they know, the status quo, the conventional way of doing things. If you say no, change the approach. Their mind is closed. They cannot open it to new dimensions or approach towards resolving the issue of corruption. They tell you that you think these politicians don't know these things. What do they know? If a federal government can wake up and say they are giving the market women ultimatum to bring down prices of things, what level of ignorance is this? What do they know? Do they understand how things work? They are buying tractors, buying fertilizer for farmers to farm when insecurity have chased them out of their farmlands. Are you not ignorant of process? Do you not know that when supply is high, goods, the prices of goods will come down naturally? Why are you coming to try to press the character of the market or market women not to make profit, not to maximize profit, or even, yes, they want to maximize profit, even 300%, because the individual is selfish. So like I was telling you, if you know what you need to know, things will become very easy for you to understand and resolve them. It is out of ignorance that we've not been able to resolve corruption like forever. And if we stay ignorant, now here we go there. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. My name is Shina David, and by the grace of God, now I did here, they talk or they get this conversation with you people about corruption. Now, in this class, don't get me wrong, but we're discussing corruption on a quantum level. And don't forget, in a political system, who is making the law is we. Who is obeying the law is we. But the law, being our collective will, which Jackie Russell called it the general will, is now placed above everybody. So that all of us now, as we agree, we hold to our word where we agree to, which is the law. We say that like this, we will behave. No go for back, go do another thing. No can't tell the general public, say, and like this, will they do. When they turn back, you don't go carry biro. Instead of 100,000, you make 1 billion. Then nothing happens to you. No. If something is not happening to him after stealing our money, he will continue to steal the money. And someone asked me that if now you now they tell you, say you as you enter office now, what are you gonna do? Say you might go to steal money. I told the person, don't trust me not to steal the money. Make sure that I don't steal the money. And under a country, a political system, that is a systematic setting that ensures this. Maybe one way you may say, I say make sure I don't steal the money, me say you go carry gun, you. No, there is a way. And I've told you several times, there is a way, and I've been talking about it. where an effective system of check and balance can be introduced or effectively crafted within our political system. If this is lacking, this is the result. People will arbitrate power, be corrupt in the face of impunity. Thank you. Ain't thank God. We'll still do on the matter. Don't worry yourself. I deal with you.